Hi, welcome back to class, and I hope you guys had a great spring break. This week we are moving along, so this will be an easy week for you actually, since we had spring break. There was no initial post to discuss. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to move on to looking at Hispanic Americans. So as you're seeing, this class pivoted, and we went from looking at general concepts to switching to look at particular ethnic groups. And this is just to give you a basic introduction to these groups and hopefully pique your interest and you decide to study more. So this is by no means comprehensive. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this week's lesson and pivot with it as we move on. There's going to be another side assignment that we're going to have that will look at intersectionality, which is something I know that was covered in some of your other sociology classes, but it's something that I really I'm hoping you get a strong interest in. So we're going to use this week to kind of pivot to that on top of our regular direction of the class. So this week we're moving our discussion to Hispanic Americans, and so we are going to focus, most of our videos this week are going to be on women. There's also going to be a TED Talk we'll watch that is with Jose Calderon, where he's speaking about Cesar Chavez. But for the most part, your Dropbox assignment will be on two Hispanic women. So I want you to read Chapter 8, and we will have two videos on Sonia Sotomayor, who's a Supreme Court justice. So she's probably one of the more powerful people in the country. And Dolores Huerta, who is an activist who worked alongside of Cesar Chavez. And anyone who follows politics will remember the statement, "Yes, we can," from Barack Obama. He got that from her. So Cesar Puerta was what she'd say was "yes, we can" when she was told she couldn't she wasn't able to start a boycott to move a political message. She's a very powerful person. She's also one of the people who some school districts try to keep out of their textbooks because she was such an effective activist. So we're going to watch a video on her. There'll be a Dropbox assignment on both of these women, and then you're going to watch a Jose Calderon, who's a sociologist, doing a TED Talk on a pivot that he had in his life due to being involved with Cesar Chavez. Following that, you're going to watch two poems on identity. And these are both done by young people, and they look at identity from two different ways. And they're actually great poems, and I think they'll be a good starting point for an interesting discussion. So I'm going through the assignments. So on my computer, it's a little slow today. We're going to see Sotomayor, who did have to overcome some adversity to get into her position. I mean, she worked really hard, and she really paved the way, and she's a real role model for people around the country, but especially, my family originally from the Bronx, so when I go back to New York, she's a real inspiration now in the Bronx. She's well respected, and so you're going to watch two different videos with her. They're each about 10 minutes. And the third video you're going to watch is the Dolores Huerta. And this is about a documentary about her. But this Democracy Now! Video has a lot of information in it. And I couldn't get free access to the documentary. But she's somebody who more people should be familiar with. And again, like I said, she's somebody they're trying to keep out of textbooks in certain states, but she's still an activist. She's still pushing for change, and just very strong women. So you're going to write a quarter page on the first two videos. So a quarter page on each of these videos, and then a half page on Dolores. We have a quiz and our Module 9 discussion. So the first discussion is you're just going to find a main takeaway from Jose Calderon's TED Talk on finding Cesar Chavez. So pretty broad, but he does a great discussion, and he talks about his personal pivot in life from activist work he's done. And then we're going to watch these two videos on identity. This first video is exploring the idea of what is it like to be a Chicano. So what does it mean to be a Chicano? The second video is a little more complicated, but it's an interesting talking point, and this is something that crosses over for other groups of people as well. Mercedes Holtree is discussing the fact that she's of mixed lineage. So she has a Hispanic mother and her father is white, a German. And so she is discussing her living in two worlds, basically. And her discussion is about a look she gets when she orders food from somebody, and how she knows she's being judged, and how she it's on her internal dialogue in her head. I do warn you, there is a little bit of explicit language in this discussion in her poem, but it is a good poem, so I do encourage you to watch it. If you're really uncomfortable with her language, you can just comment on the first video and skip that one. So if you have any questions, make sure you send me an email on D2L, and I look forward to restarting the semester. I know that spring break usually either gives people a good kick to start working harder, or it slows people down. So I'm really hoping that it gets some people a little more involved. And if you were involved at the beginning, keep it up. So don't feel that this is a good point to slow down a bit. We're almost done with the semester, and I am very happy with the work you've done. You guys have done a great job. The discussions have been wonderful, and I'm very happy with this class. So, again, have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.